is meant for me, you know.
Okay, you don't want to do the self-inquiry.
Is
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
Well, I think
Sorry,
I have a
have you
sense of what it
experienced
is.
rather what it is?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Have you experienced rather what it is?
No, I don't think I have experienced it. It seems convoluted to me, you know, like, difficult to get to, difficult to understand. Like you have to have an inside moment and understand what it is.
Yes,
and
true.
Once that you understand it, then what?
Well, understanding is not the right word, actually.
No.
It seems intellectual, but it's actually experiential. One thing to mentally, like if I'm attached to this mug, it's one thing to believe I'm the mug, or to feel like I'm contracted to the space of the mug, but it's an experiential experience to suddenly let go of that identification and have the recognition that one is the observer of the mug, you see. It's not an intellectual.
But even the words you're using, like identification, recognition, you know,
yes,
they sound like intellectual words, you know.
No, they are. Every word I say is intellectual.
What I'm saying is,
yeah.
You know what we were discussing before about prayer and the rosary and the devotionals.
Yes, you're more into the devotional side.
Yeah, the thing is, no, I wouldn't say more into devotionals, but it's about transforming the heart.
Well, what is the heart?
Yes, that's a good question, you know, because the self-inquirer is, I think of it more as the mind, something to do with the mind, you know, not with the heart, like an intellectual insight or some sort of intellectual thing going on.
No, that's not what it is.
Probably it's a misconception that I have,
yeah. Personally, for me, the way I use self-inquiry is almost like, but that's different for everyone, really. It's almost like, in a way, you're distancing yourself, from your ego. You're getting out of your ego state, and you're kind of almost like, I'm kind of almost like observing my thoughts, my actions, but not exactly observing them either. I'm just kind of really, instead of feeling that I'm one with them, one with my feelings, instead of one with my thoughts, one with everything, it's almost like, you know, I've got to almost get out of the way, and I get into a total, you know, kind of an awareness space, and that space is unlimited, and, you know, I don't feel that I'm constricted in this little body, or in my thoughts or in emotions. So kind of I distance myself, you know, because often, you know, when we are very emotional, or maybe I'm talking about myself, you know, it's difficult to get, you know, to kind of almost like observe that actually, yes, the emotions are happening, the thoughts are, but it's not really exactly you. So that's how their way. I mean, everyone uses it differently, I think, but that's my...
Could you call it as well?
My way.
You know, could you call it as well as detachment rather than self-inquiry? Could you give it a different name?
Well, ultimately, I mean, you know, we're using words. I mean, but the limitless state, where one is not contracted or limited, can be called many different words, have different connotations. Detachment is useful, I mean, but detachment has vocabulary connotations of being like some kind of flat zombie, with no life, and just being like so it's not detachment. You know, like Buddha said, the way to enlightenment was to let go of all attachments. You see, so if you let go of all attachments, it doesn't mean you become like some kind of bored zombie. I'm using that expression today. It means that everything that was false, that was identified with, is removed, so that only that recognition of that which is real is experienced. So it's like the Course in Miracles. We're removing the blocks, all the blocks of limits, to the experiencing the absolute truth, which is beyond all limits. So, I mean, detachment, yes, you could say the processing is detaching from the identified limits, but, you know, people get misunderstood when they say the state is detached, because it sounds like, you know, you're and the connotation from the ego is if you detach from all your attachments, all the limits, the thoughts, then you'll be nothing, or you'll be very boring, or you're going to be a cabbage or something. So, but actually, like, you could say all spiritual traditions are traditions of surrender, you know, and the ego gets very, very scared if you say surrender every single identification or attachment. Then the ego will say there'll be nothing there.
Sure.
I think, sorry, what did you say? I personally prefer the word, you know, that Rupert Spira uses, which is self-abidance. You're abiding in that bigger self, really.
Yeah.
Because you're right, I think self-required, possibly it sounds like a little kind of a mind game. Self-abidance is almost like you're abiding in that bigger self, in the unlimited self, where you observe, you know, this little constricted body, this, you know, thoughts, you know, all these really things that limit us. So, yeah, for me, I think it's yeah, it speaks more to me than more self-abiding. But whatever, you know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're kind of, it's all words, really.
Yeah,
Sabbir says, you know, it's all words, really. But sometimes, you know, the words, you know,
Yeah, for some people help us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, detachment, I think I agree with Sabbir. It's almost like it seems too cold, really.
Yeah, it has
There's
a cold
something-
connotation.
It has got a different kind of connotation, yeah. Whereas I think self-abidance is a lovely one, because it's almost you're abiding in that bigger self, really, in the unlimited self.
Yeah.
To abide is to live.
Sorry?
Well, to abide.
Is to live.
Well,
To abide.
Well, to abide in the limitless is one thing. To abide in the limited is another thing.
No, but to abide. What does it mean?
Oh, the language.
Self-abide, to abide.
To abide is like to stay in a place.
It's kind of like to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like being the eternal,
Yes.
being the eternal, or being the limited. You see. So I would say that the
Yeah.
I don't know, to be, yeah, it's like being, to be. You know,
Or to even to reside, maybe, is it?
yes, reside, that's nice, isn't it? It's lovely. To reside in the limitless or the
I
eternal,
think to reside.
or the God self, or the limitless self, or to abide or to be the limited. You know, and you know, for me, the heart. You know, there is the heart. You know, the course is talking about, and the enlightened teachers. Yeah.
Yes. I think you asked me what is the heart.
Well, I was just going on to see whether it was contracted or not. Your understanding of it.
Yes. What is your question?
Well, you were saying something like prayer is a way to be in the heart.
Yeah, it's a way to the heart.
So what is the heart?
Yes, what is the heart? That's a good question.
Well, in the highest spiritual sense, I have a view on that. In the highest spiritual sense of heart, but then I think others can. You know, it's like you say heart. For me, I mean, even Muji says heart. The ultimate heart, you know, is beyond all limits. You see, free of all contractions. One has surrendered all aspects and identifications with the ego. Then you could say, these are words, but then you could say, you're, like you say, one is in the eternal, one is in the oneness.
You are kind of...
I'm using too many words, aren't I?
No, you're giving the properties of the heart. Rather than saying the heart is this.
What is the heart? What's your?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, that's a question to meditate upon. You know, what is the heart?
Oh, I agree. Well,
It's a question to meditate upon. First is the deepest layer of any person.
is it a person? The heart?
Well, in the human in the human realm.
Is the heart human?
The heart, humans are close to the heart, that say plants are or animals are. That doesn't mean that plants or animals may not have participation in the heart, but I think humans are closer to the heart.
Yes, and is the heart identified with any sense of limitation? Is the heart like there's thoughts?
No, it's not.
Is it the body?
No, the heart.
Is it like a location?
Well, normally heart is more associated with feelings.
Yeah, there is a psychological heart, like you've broken my heart.
Yes, but sensitivity, that's a better word. Sensitivity.
Is that sensitivity from the human or from or is it if it's human, is that
No, it's not just human, but humans have a larger slice of it.
Well, okay. Well, you could say that humans have the capacity to experience what I'd call, the eternal, the limitless. Whereas animals, not so. But it doesn't mean that the human aspect is the heart. You see, so for me, it's like my take on it is, you can tell me your take as well. Like the mysticism for me is the recognition of the eternal. It's the death of the attachments or the identifications with any form of limit, and the spirit is not the animal. The eternal is not. There might be, yes, go on.
But the term, yeah, sorry, I mean,
No, it's good. Please, yeah, please do.
The eternal.
Yes, what's eternal?
It's the eternal sounds to me more like a property or an attribute.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know that.
Than, the heart is the essence of everything.
Yes. So, is the essence? So the essence then wouldn't be like a contracted, limited thing, would it?
No, because it's of everything. It's the essence of everything.
Okay. So if your experience, we're having an intellectual debate. So essence. So are you in essence now, or are you in something? What are you now? Oh, we can use the word heart. Doesn't matter what word you use for it.
Well, I'm part of this essence, yes. Or I participate in this essence.
No, well, that's intellectual. What's your experience now?
My experience now. I'm not sure, I think I'm confused.
Okay, so...
my experience now is that I'm sitting here talking to you about this.
So... Okay, so... The thing is... We can have an intellectual debate about heart. But there's also experience as well, which is different. And
no, why are they different? I mean,
well, if the experiencing in the moment is that one is in limitation or contraction, or one is identified into something like a thought, or identified into the body,
But you use these words a lot, like limitation, contraction, you know, like...
I need to find different words, don't I? Sense of separation. If there is a sense of separation being experienced, can this be the heart? Is there any sense of separation now?
Separation, I mean, it's an awkward question. Separation from what? I mean, when I say the heart, what I mean is things, they're closer to compassion, for instance. Yeah.
Well, even compassion. Is the ultimate compassion a kind of a dualistic thing? Meaning that, oh, I am compassionate for you.
Yeah, compassion, if you look at the root, I think that passion is to suffer. That's what it means.
Passion is to suffer. Okay.
It means to suffer.
Okay.
And con means with. So it's suffering with.
Suffer with. Okay.
So in the very root of the word,
Yeah.
in the very root of the word,
Yes.
is the answer to the question, that there is no separation because you are suffering with.
Okay, well...
So you are not one in the suffering with whoever is suffering. You know.
Well, if you're one, there isn't a separation.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah, there's no separation, but it sounds like...
No, I mean...
It sounds abstract, you know?
Yeah, that's because you're not having...
The heart has nothing to do with an abstraction of any kind.
Sorry, the what, sorry?
The heart to me,
Oh, the
that
heart,
doesn't have
sorry.
to do anything with an abstraction of any kind. The only thing that I'm saying is all this, I mean, it's probably like there are different ways, access points to the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-inquiry can be one of them, but to me it sounds like very in the head.
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
or
you...
maybe I'm wrong, you know, but it sounds
No,
like
no,
that,
for everyone
as
is-
if you have to understand something, you have to get something, and not until you get it, then no, it's not, you're not there yet. It is nothing to. And another thing is, even if you understand, then what? I mean, that's an important question, no?
Sorry?
Even if you understood it, then what? I mean, how does transform you? And when I say transform you, is transform your heart. Because that's the only thing, to me, the spiritual life, or
Yes.
the spiritual path, is everything to do with transforming the heart. Wherever the heart is, wherever you understand the heart is. You see? I remember,
Yeah.
a long time ago when I was here, we had these chaps.
Yes.
Do you remember them? The blonde one?
The brown one?
No, the blonde one.
Girl.
It is a woman, tall woman.
No, the guy.
The blonde guy.
I think they came in a couple.
Oh, I think I know one blonde guy. He's the guy
the
who was into your teacher as well. Yeah.
I think he was a photographer.
A photographer.
I think so. Or
Was
something
he?
to do with photography.
There was a guy that was linked to
Oh, I
with
see,
it.
yes.
Yes.
Anyway, he mentioned that he had an experience. So,
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.